One thing
Sure
that I
it
always
does.
tell people is like, the one thing that you think about the most when you're sick is, God, I wish I was healthy.
Yeah.
When you're healthy, it just seems normal.
It just is what it is.
But when you get sick, you're like, oh God, this
Yeah.
sucks. I can't wait to get healthy.
Yep.
But when you're fucking healthy,
Yeah.
you've got to like do whatever you can to preserve that and recognize that there's a possibility that you could get sick. Appreciate the shit out of being healthy.
Well, and then with work, though, with comedy, I feel like there's this other side of the spectrum, which is that you should be willing to be very uncomfortable and very unhappy to do it right, because that's love. That's real love.
But you're doing it.
Yes,
is my point.
yes.
If it took it away from you,
Yeah.
like COVID when we couldn't do stand up,
yeah.
well then that's you being sick.
Yes,
that's what
right.
I'm saying. I mean, it's like not that it should always be the most fun thing to do, because exercise fucking blows.
Yeah.
Like being healthy,
Yeah.
like sitting in a fucking sauna for 25 minutes at 190 degrees and cold plunges
Stinks.
and all this shit that I do, it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it, but I'm doing it because being healthy is far superior to being sick.
Yeah.
But you forget. You forget sometimes.
Well, but also it can be a really, a bummer to be healthy. It can be.
How so?
Well, I've had streaks where I'm like, I'm doing it all right, you know, and I'm not doing things that I know make me feel like shit, like eating
Right.
a bunch of pizza that's just going to flood me with
Yep.
sugar and slow me down and give me a headache.
Yep.
And give me a depression that I end up curing with a cigarette, and then I can't move even more, and then I eat more, and then it's a terrible thing.
Yep.
And like 2 weeks later, I come out of like a dungeon, like I got to stop, and like I can't believe I just wasted all that time.
Right.
But when I'm like, I'm doing it all right, I'm eating well, fucking salmon with brown rice, a little bit of vegetables, you know, or whatever, and drinking water with lemon, and staying away from drinks, no alcohol,
Right.
sleeping without any help, all those good things, you know. There's a dryness to that. Like I just, after a while, I just get cranky. I just feel like I want to indulge and just get some sugar in you. And feel like
moderation.
Feeling like shit has its good points. You know?
Indulgence has its good points.
Yeah, when you feel like you're like, oh, what the fuck did I do that for? There's when you hit the bottom, there's a comfort in that. It's a bed. The bottom is like a bed. Do you know what I mean? I mean, not like alcoholics and drug addicts. I don't know what it's like for them, but in my little self-abuses.
Every now and then getting off the rails.
You just got it.
No, I like it. I like doing that too.
Yeah.
But I stay healthy.
That's good.
But I do go off. I mean, I will eat pizza and fucking
Yeah.
spaghetti and ice cream. I'll go crazy.
It's just the best thing
But
in the
then
world.
I just self-correct. I go, okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel so bad when it's over. When I eat like a giant, like a fucking big Italian sub
Yeah.
and like a fucking 32-ounce Coca-Cola, I feel
Yeah.
like hot dog shit.
No,
within
it's the worst.
An hour and a half.
No, and then ice cream, which is my favorite thing. I'm just shit.
Yeah.
It's just Shitsville, and it's burning hot shits for like a week. I pay hard for ice cream, so I don't do it often. But there is, I don't know, I don't think it'll ever not be. I still stay in shape and some discipline for a stand-up, and I've got this thing at the Garden, like to me, that's like the big fight of my life. That's
Right.
the championship fight. But when that's over and I take a year off, part of me thinks I might just Brando out. I might get really fucking big. I don't know.
You might do a reverse Bobby Kelly.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope not. Sometimes I'm able to be more healthy when I'm not performing because I go upstate more.
Yeah.
And I make my trail and I do my. Yeah, that's better exercise than a gym anyway. Yeah.
I think it's important to be healthy, but I also think it's important to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And I think, there's something about food pleasure, mouth pleasure from, eating
Yeah.
a big fucking bowl of rigatoni. It's great. It tastes great. You just got to know what's happening. Like, I like drinking. I enjoy drinking. I like fucking tipping a few back with my friends.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers. I like doing a shot before I go on stage. I enjoy it. Yeah, but I know what I'm doing. And
Right.
I know when it comes to the morning, I'm going to do everything I can to counteract that.
Yeah, sure.
I do everything I can with vitamins. I take IV vitamins and drips, and I do all kinds of shit. But I keep it working right. But I also
It's a funny
use
thing
my
too.
body in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, because of jiu-jitsu and
Right.
martial arts.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle for me. I'm using it.
Well, we live weird lives too because most people can't. When we say things like it's important to be healthy, but it's important to enjoy yourself, most people even can't have that conversation.
Right.
Like most of the population is just fucking grinding.
Just trying to
They're
live.
just dragging their bodies across broken glass and trying to like hand off just enough to their kids and then fucking collapse in
Yeah.
a heap of cancer.
Yeah, they're just trying
That's
to pay
most
the
life.
bills. They're just trying to pay the bills. Just stay one step ahead of the gravedigger.
Or only 2.5 steps behind.
Yeah.
That's how most people live.
Right.
Like I was talking to my Blanche, my French pal, and I said, life is a zero-sum game. It's something I believe it's a zero-sum game. Effort you put in and it comes back, but you end up at zero.
Right.
She said, for a lot of people, life is about a negative 500 some game.
Yeah.
And it's true. Some people, everything they can possibly do, they end up so fucked.
Yeah.
Just fucked for good, and it's just life is fucked.
And because of that, you have this attitude that life is fucked. So then that's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I guess. I mean, it's
negative attitude.
There's
Negative
not much room for that kind of shit, though, in most people's lives. But in America, compared to everybody else, we're really doing great.
Yeah.
So we can have these long conversations about what's the right way to think and what's the right way to live, and all these many boutique things of here's how to feel better.
Yeah.
Because we're just kind of sitting around. We're just consumers. We're just consumers of the rest of the world. So.
I was watching this video where these guys were talking about, Lex Friedman and Andrew Huberman were talking about saunas and cold plunges and stuff like that, and like the benefits of it. They're two scientists.
Yeah.
They're talking about the provable benefits, heat shock proteins, cold shock proteins. And then I'm reading the comments where some guy was like, yeah, well, you guys aren't talking about is how much it costs to buy a sauna. You're making it seem like it's all free. And like what are you supposed to do? Like every fucking thing? You're like, I'm sorry if you're broke.
Oh, no, you have the conversation for people that can live that way.
Well, I mean, not just.
But it's just fun.
But it's not. It's not impossible to achieve. We're not talking about buying a fucking Lamborghini.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that there's something wrong with talking about that stuff because other people can't afford it. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's actually part of why people are miserable is because it's a ridiculous conversation. It's not like the earth and the experience of like competing for food and oxygen and living on Earth, and living in society and just being a person. We've got to some altitude here where we're having some stupid conversations that are just, should I do a cold plunge or a sauna? Like, what the fuck is that? It's not you should be ashamed because people can't afford it. I feel sorry for the guy in that conversation. It's like it's a ridiculous trying to find just the right balance because there's nothing really challenging you because you don't have any real problems and you're not on the earth. You're not standing on the earth anymore. You're in a bubble where you sort of like, maybe I'll try this and maybe I'll just do protein now and I'll do, you know what I mean? And you'll never find a balance because that's not a normal life. That's not organic living. That's not living like a human being, You don't have a choice because,
but you have
what are you going to do? Be poor on
But you have a
purpose?
physical body. And if you have a physical body, there's things that are beneficial to your physical body.
Sure.
And if you choose to do those things, you'll have a better body. It'll work better. And if you choose not to do those things because you think they're ridiculous, so do you think like, that's not organic living, that's not life,
Yeah.
this is not life. It is life. It's life. And people have invented shoes. The reason why they invented shoes is because rocks will cut your feet.
Yeah.
So they figured out shoes. Shoes are better than no shoes, right? Getting in a sauna and getting in a cold plunge is better for the physical body than not doing it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Lifting weights is better than not lifting weights because then you develop a strong body and don't lose your bone
100%
density.
all true.
Like all these things are a part of life. You can just decide they're not
They're
organic.
part of life when you've removed yourself from the food chain and from real life. They become part of life.
If you're not getting eaten by tigers, yes.
That's right.
Yeah, but like we already figured that out. So like as we move to becoming a multiplanetary species,
that's what I'm saying.
There's a lot of things that you're going to figure out.
Well, and